My personal evil mission in life is to tell the world about animal agriculture, and this is a big part of it. Is that we have to harvest the animal to get the meat out of them. We have to harvest them because that's how we make them useful to us as humans, so that we can get the food. But it is a mystery because so many people are so separated from the farm now. Many generations, in fact, where people don't know where their food comes from, especially meat products.
Welcome to MeatsPad, a platform dedicated to sharing breakthrough knowledge that is accessible to the meats industry. On each episode, we will hear from meat specialists and professionals to talk about numerous topics in meat science. This podcast is brought to you by the U.S. Meat Export Federation, UltraSource, the new standard for innovation,
IFFA, Meat Processing Power.
Viscofan is a global leader and innovative partner in the food industry who provides solutions for the casing market.
Hello, me folks. Welcome back to the MeatsPad podcast. And after 1 year, we are face to face with Dr. Bass. How are you?
I'm excited as usual, Francisco. Thanks for having me back. For the listeners out there, you may notice that the audio is just a little bit different. And that's because we are indeed in the same room. Oftentimes we're not when we are conducting our podcasts. But it's great to be back. And today we're gonna. There's been a little bit of travel between the two of us, hasn't there? We've kind of been out conquering the world, making the world a better place for meat enthusiasts, as we like to say. And surprisingly, both Francisco and I were in Europe recently, both in Spain. But Francisco, you were also in another country, is that right?
Yeah. So we were at the IFFA show, since like most of our listenership have heard and see on our social media.
And what's the IFFA?
The IFFA is they celebrate it every 3 years. Mm-hmm. It's an expo show. It's an expo. It's in Frankfurt, Germany, mm-hmm. And it was amazing. It's that opportunity where all the equipment companies that they do or manufacture equipment for the meat industry, from kill floor, processing, packaging, labeling, you name it, mm-hmm. Everything for the meat industry. And it's a good opportunity every 3 years to convene. And it was awesome. I think it was my first year going to this show, and you basically have people from around the world.
And you had a chance to interview a number of those folks there for our frequent listeners. Hopefully, you've been able to hear a couple of the more recent podcasts, and if you haven't, go back and listen to them. But Francisco wasn't bashful at all, and just was out there interviewing folks right there on the trade show floor. Is that right?
Yes, that was a good opportunity to know what some of the new technologies, some of the new tendencies in the meat industry. I saw a lot of machinery, a lot of new alternatives for plant-based products.
Okay.
A lot of the machines they even had a dedicated room for plant-based. Mm-hmm. And from what I saw, a lot of those equipment, they're targeting hybrid processing, where mm-hmm. you can have maybe 50% plant-based and 50% protein coming from meat,
animal
pork.
Protein.
Yes. So it's interesting to see that trend in the market, and absolutely, I think that's going to be something that we will see in the next couple of years. Mm-hmm. Like the market's not going anywhere. So,
well, there's definitely a lot of interest out there for either a 100% plant-based or some type of mixture, and that's interesting to see that, or hear. I didn't see it, but to hear that the machinery manufacturers are trying to address that interest of the processors, is to try to find machinery that can work with both different types of protein. Because I'm assuming there's a bit of a difference between animal and plant-based proteins.
Yeah. And for the most part, it's not as hard to have the hybrid. And mm-hmm. most of the equipment, when we talk about vacuum stuffers, we talk about clippers, we talk about packaging. I mean, mostly there's some things that you have to change, but it can be done. Like if you take all that stuff into consideration.
What was the most unique thing that you observed at the IFFA show, if you can recall? Because it sounds like it's almost an overwhelming experience from the folks that I know who have had a chance to see this show and see the new technologies that are there. I know that the folks creating these new pieces of machinery, they're absolute geniuses when it comes to the engineering that they put into it. Is there anything that comes to mind that really stood out to you?
Honestly, I yes, there's a couple of things or many things that stood out to me. The main one, for those of you that they don't know, I actually came a week earlier from the IFFA. The IFFA was from the 11th, 10th through the 16th. That was a week. I don't know where today is, but
Yeah.
so a week before the IFFA show, we went and visited some meat plants in northern Germany, in Altenburg, and that was the thing that really impacted me. We asked the company Goldmausch, is one of the big beef and pork producers in Germany. We asked them if we could go into the plant and record some video, some footage, and do some podcasting with the managers and the people within the plant. And at first I thought, this is a long shot. There was no way they're gonna let us do, because when you go into the, especially the slaughter part, when you do all the stunning and exsanguination, is so graphic.
There's
and
reluctance.
Sometimes, yeah. But you know what? Their answer was, right now we have a lot of hate in the meat industry because they all these haters out there, they think like we don't do a good job stunning the animals humanely. And we talk about this with Dr. Vogel and you, so that we do our best from the actual animal welfare, from transportation all the way to the stunning, so the animal, they don't suffer. We do it humanely.
Yeah.
And so their take was on this, you know what, we're gonna let you record everything.
Yeah.
And so we're still editing. It's just like 4 hours of footage in the plant. We did the beef and the pork plant, and I think the material will be uploaded soon. I think that's what we need in the meat industry.
Yes.
Show those consumers. A lot of people, they don't know where the beef come from. They just, I know there was, again, we talk about some folks that they I think it was one thing that it went viral kind of like 2 years ago, that a kid said, "Oh, milk comes from the fridge."
Yep.
Like they don't know.
Yeah. People don't know where their food comes from. Yeah.
Right, and I think
we have to show that. Yep.
And sometimes, and I don't know what you think, but in our industry, sometimes we tend to hide.
Yep.
As though if we're doing something wrong.
Right.
I don't know what you think of that. That's
well, I mean, my personal evil mission in life is to tell the world about animal agriculture, and this is a big part of it. Is that we have to harvest the animal to get the meat out of them. We have to harvest them because that's how we make them useful to us as humans, so that we can get the food. But it is a mystery because so many people are so separated from the farm now. Many generations, in fact, where people don't know where their food comes from, especially meat products. I think there's a lot of interest, and I think what you did is a great service to the European industry, and hopefully we can apply it here domestically in North America. For those who are out there that do have interest in observing some of these harvesting practices, done very, very well. Dr. Temple Grandin had conducted a few videos in the past. She called it the Glass Walls Project. Yep. That's available at animalhandling.org. So go check that out. But hopefully these new videos will just continue to help educate and bring to light what it is that we do. And we're doing a good thing. It really is. We're doing a good thing. We're providing food to the world, and we're respecting the animal. And that's super important. And we need to tell that story. So I'm grateful for you being able to go and do that and seeing that other that side of the industry. It's important for folks, and we talk about this regularly on the podcast here, but it's important to get out there and experience other cultures and see how things are done differently. And I would assume from your experience being in Kansas beef plants, you could see, compare and contrast that of a European style harvest facility. Is that right?
For the most part, I think they're very similar. I mean, as far as the processing, I mean, the cutting is a little bit way different. They do a lot of the cutting on the rail, but with machinery, with saws, and it's a little bit different, especially in this plant. I cannot say I cannot talk about other plants, but this plant, they were doing most of the the fabrication on the rail,
Mhm.
like basically just quartering the animal and selling it. So especially this company, and also in Spain, they were shipping quarters like to
Yeah,
another
large
facility.
subprimals. There's a
Right.
lot of butcher shops that actually still buy whole halves and quarters in the European market, and they still know how to operate with that, which is to me is absolutely fascinating. I love to see that, honestly. When I was in over there in Europe, and Francisco mentioned, we missed each other by about 3 days, but did get a chance to go up into northern Spain, and as well as Francisco did, but kind of see a unique a part of Spanish culture, even with what's known as the Basque culture.
Yeah.
And then I went all the way down into southern Navarra, which is still very, very northern Spain, but drastic different country. Southern Navarra, you see fighting bull ranches. It's still a popular event in Spain and France, in Portugal, all through the Iberian Peninsula. And got to see how those folks have actually transitioned over the recent years to the festivals where they would run bulls down the street. And by the way, it's not just in Pamplona where you see the running into bulls. Apparently, every little town in Spain pretty much has one of these. Maybe not quite as many, and maybe not quite as aggressive, but they do have festivals with cattle. They couldn't do that for the last 2 years, and so they've been diversifying into the meat world. Which, if you're familiar with I think it's a Toro Brava breed is the specific breed that they use for fighting bulls. They're intentionally bred for their aggression, and which makes it kind of hard to work with the calves. And what I'm going with here is that they started breeding a few of their cows to Charolais bulls. And they said, man, these calves are so much easier to work with. They're so much easier to put an ear tag in and give them their shots and everything. But they're diversifying because they needed to find another source of income. And it's probably a really good thing. It's hard to continue to make a business sustainable by just focusing on one area, in this case, the fighting bulls. And they're diversifying now into not just fighting bulls for festivals, but also getting more into the meat world, which they're finding some great income for their area. While I was in Spain as well, we in my day job at the University of Idaho, we have a collaboration with the University of Pamplona, or the Public University of Navarra in Pamplona.
Yeah, you gotta be careful there because there is a University of Navarra.
There is,
and the university,
and then
public
there's the
university.
Public University of
There you go.
Navarra. Very, very different. But the Public University of Navarra, Dr. Quisquitza Insausti, if you can understand any of the Spanish podcasts that Francisco has conducted in the past, he has interviewed Dr. Quisquitza. But anyway, her and I have collaborated on a number of projects in the past, and so we had a chance to go and visit with her.
The mission of USMEF is to increase the value and profitability of the U.S. beef, pork, and lamb industries by enhancing demand for their products in export markets through a dynamic partnership of all stakeholders. Simply put, USMEF is putting U.S. meat on the world's table.
One of the big takeaways for me was a chance to go and visit with one of our partners here on the podcast, Viscofan.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm still recovering from that. In a good way, because
In a good way,
it's
yes.
a lot. I mean, we went to, and I don't know if they told you, but this is the largest casing establishment or facility in the world. They do everything pretty much there. They do fibrous casing. They do collagen casing, which I was impressed by, like the collagen casing, by the way. And we'll talk here in a minute about that.
Yeah.
Cellulose casing. Yeah. I mean, they manufacture
plastic casings.
They do a lot.
And interleaving. So the little pieces of plastics that go between cheese and go between slices of meat and things like that. I mean, it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I think that was an excellent experience. It was changing to me the way to I mean, just seeing the plant, how they do the collagen. It was amazing. And it's not the only plant in the world, right? They have multiple plants, But I think it was a good opportunity. And just to those folks listening, so collagen casings, if that's probably should be a good episode to talk about just how that's manufactured, because it's an art.
It is. Yeah. A lot of chemistry, a lot of engineering to make these edible casing products that are not they're not hog casing, they're not intestinal casing like you would traditionally see. They're very consistent and very straight, but you can also put a curve to them if you wanted. It's an extrusion process using a byproduct of the livestock harvesting world. They're using the underlining collagen that's found on the underside of hide. In the past, it would have been have no value, and they found this value that now we can actually use this for making edible casings for sausages and frankfurters and all kinds of cool things.
Yeah, and they mostly there's been this movement for quite a few years now. If those facilities are doing some using some natural casings or natural casings, I want to do more. I want to increase. I want to double my production. And these guys are starting to see, well, you want to double your production. They're changing to some collagen casings to just finish off earlier in the day. So, and we'll be putting some stuff like that, because we had the opportunity also to do some podcasting with Jesus Esparza. He's the lead in the R&D.
Okay.
And it's amazing what they do. For every lot that they produce, they have a little plant where they test everything.
Yep.
All the lot that goes out the door.
Yep.
They test it, and it's just good. I don't wanna give more information about all that stuff, but I think we'll need some of your help for that translation, because mostly it was done in Spanish or Castellanos, how they say. They don't say Spanish. They say, well, I speak Castellano.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Spanish. Yeah.
So I think it was overall a good experience, and highly recommend you have the opportunity to go abroad, and especially not only for being a meat scientist or food scientist. I think it's always good to, and we talk about this a lot, like how important it is to speak at least another language, understand the other culture, and you kind of become bicultural. I call it
multicultural.
Because one thing is to understand the language, and the other thing is to understand the culture.
Yeah.
And by immersing yourself and just getting to know what they do, and I think we need more on that. But I think there's a lot of people right now in the United States that I don't know if you've seen that, but a lot of the parents are teaching a lot of the kids more and more, not only Spanish but other languages, because it's important. I mean, it just literally opens your business opportunities. You want to call it business opportunities, because you have, I don't know, 50%. You can do the other 50 that if you speak another language. I don't know. I'm probably talking too much now, but it's emphasizing the importance of just speaking 2, 3, 4 languages.
Well, and just experiencing other cultures too is very welcoming to the rest of the world. Whether you travel all the way to Spain, or you travel just south to Mexico, or you go to Canada, for crying out loud, just experiencing some other culture makes you more well-rounded as a business person, and it allows for I think it uses a different part of your brain, and that's important to continually progress in your business, helping your customer. I tell you, if you do want to learn more about meat processing, different ways of cutting meat, go check out Europe, because those guys are true craftsmen. They're absolutely true craftsmen. And really every little butcher shop around has these amazing craftspeople that we can learn something from. And so, get out there, travel. I know it was worthwhile for me. It was about a week for me. Francisco, you spent a little bit more time over in Europe. And I'm excited to get back. So
absolutely.
Yep.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. We for sure keep sending you all this stuff, all good stuff, and hopefully you guys like it, and we'll continue to do this.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care.